Okay, guys, we are live. Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I'm Crypto Kip. Do me a favor on your way in, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel for more crypto content. Even in a bear market, guys, we will continue to make crypto content because we absolutely love this asset and do believe that there's a very bright future ahead. I really do believe that. I really, really do. However, in the meantime, we are probably going to see a lot more downside. Now, I have a wild title, I know, Bitcoin Death Spiral. That's telling you how I really feel. Will crypto ever recover? The answer is yes. Spoiler alert there. That's my opinion. 99% will make this mistake. What mistake are people going to make? A very easy mistake that I've made in the past that I refuse to make moving forward. And that is one of the bases that we created this channel on in the first place, was to take the mistakes that me and Blacksea have learned along the way and have improved our skills in crypto and in life, and just educate folks on our experiences and how to avoid some of the easy pitfalls that come up in crypto. There is such a thing as being too bullish, and that is a number one mistake, and that is generally the gist of the big mistake, but we have to talk about the ins and outs of that. A lot of conversations going on right now regarding, is this as bad or worse than the FTX collapse? Ripple just got mentioned in some Epstein file releases, which is wild. We got to discuss that. And there's news that we just got to break through, guys. So we'll talk about some price action in this video. We'll talk about everything that we see here going on in this space. It's a Monday. We're live streaming, guys. Got to keep these Monday live streams going for you. It's good to be back live. So smash like, subscribe to the channel. How's it going in the chat? What's going on, John? I'm asking the question in our chat right now. Are you currently buying crypto right now? 100% of you guys are saying yes, and I don't mind purchasing crypto after it's crashed. Are we going to go lower? Is it a bad idea to buy right now? Is it a good idea to buy right now? Well, there's no one answer that fits all, but I want to kind of explore this whole conversation with you guys, talk about what I'm doing right now. And note, we do have a private Discord. So if you want to join our private Discord and engage in these discussions directly with me and Blacksea, when you sign up for Blofin, the affiliate exchange, in the description of this video and in every video, you will get access to our private Discord. This is what it looks like when you sign up. You need an email or phone number to sign up. Check out the link pinned in the comments section as well. You don't even need to trade to access our private Discord. It's just kind of our gatekeeping, I guess, to get people that are actually interested in a dialogue. You got to take a step to get access to the private Discord. It's free, just a little bit of work to do it. It's super easy to set up. Okay, guys, let's get into this. So a lot of people are talking about XRP and Ripple. And let me just say, I am bullish on XRP. I am bullish on crypto. There's so many bullish things going on. Now, for example, Ripple just scored a full EU money license being reported by Coin Bureau. Cool to see. Electronic money institution license from Luxembourg's regulator. Not too shabby. What does it mean? Ripple can now operate regulated digital payment services across EU nations. This is where they're going to land. And I did mention to you guys out of the gates, this is something we've actually seen in some of these releases from Epstein files. This crazy story that I wanted to share with you guys. So look at this. In an email to Mr. Epstein, CC'd Reid Hoffman from a Mr. Austin Hill. Subject, Stellar isn't so stellar. They were talking about crypto. Stellar isn't so stellar. What are they not liking about Stellar? Well, let's read this together, because this tells you of what crypto is, what it's supposed to be, and why people like Mr. Epstein and his associates, let's say, wanted to oppose Ripple and Stellar. Here's the thing. We've obviously seen, so this was on their radar. 2014, this was on their radar. A link to Stellar XLM's website. I'm not sure what the relationship with Jed and the team are. I know obviously some of the players, but this is a problem for us. Would one of you please give me a call? I can explain some of the issues, but basically they've been acted by other co-founders to reduce or take your allocation away. Ripple and Jed's new Stellar, so Ripple and Stellar, this is why people talk to them side by side. They are similar. They're playing in a similar space. are bad for the ecosystems we are building, and it does our company damage to have investors who are backing two horses in the same race. What are they talking about here? Really, at the base of it, the traditional finance system versus crypto. Who knows the ins and outs of the ecosystem they were building, but I would assume they would be systems to establish control. Ripple and Stellar are going to put a hiccup in that plan, whatever that plan was or is. But this is wild. And this post by Jack the Rippler, who puts out some pretty crazy posts, but this was an interesting one to me. Forget all the XRP and XLM advertisement plastered everywhere. This is the best advertisement, for XRP and XLM is this email. And I do agree. It's nice to see crypto being a disruptor to traditional systems. Okay. This is positive news for XRP, I believe, and XLM. However, you do have, some comments going out right now. Tom Lee, the legend, who was talking about how bullish he was on Ethereum $1,000 ago, before Ethereum and Bitcoin collapsed 40% or more. Tom Lee is now going out on national TV again, saying all the pieces are in place for crypto to be bottoming right now. Michael Saylor is continuing to buy. Big money is still talking very positively about crypto. However, some analysts have also started to talk about 30,000, 40,000, even a $10,000 Bitcoin prediction I saw. Absolutely crazy. I'm going to come to this. This is an interview with Tom Lee, and we're actually going to listen into this. Can you guys hear this audio? Let me know if you can. I'm going to keep talking. Let me know if you heard that audio. Now, I'll jump back to that. Because the question is crypto going to bounce here, or are we going to see more downside? I say Bitcoin death spiral, but I'm just a bald guy on the internet, right? I don't like to be a big old meme bear, guys. I just like to tell it how I see it. All right. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. And I think that is just the only way we can approach this market right now, is speaking truthfully about how we feel about it. Is there any other way to do it? I don't think so. But here's an interesting conversation. It was quiet. Thank you. Appreciate that, Craig. I'll see what we can do about that volume. And maybe we won't do the interview. I'm going to play that in a bit, and you let me know if that volume's okay. So here's a post, and I'm going to kind of go back. So this guy, Farco, he's a big name on X. He's got 400, 500 followers, 500K followers. Talking about how this is worse than the FTX crash when FTX happened. So let's just go back to what sparked this conversation. Okay. Here you go. This post right here. Seeing a lot of people on say FTX was worse than this. I disagree. In 2022, stocks had cooled off big time. Inflation was through the roof. The Fed was raising rates. Luna had collapsed. In some sense, FTX was in line with what was going on. In 2025, 2026, we have a mysterious collapse on 10/10, a $20 billion liquidation, which was insane. That was insane. All-time high on stocks, all-time high in tech, all-time high in AI, all-time high precious metals, and by the way, precious metals collapsed, huge. An extremely favorable regulatory climate compared to 2022 when they were trying to destroy crypto. And what do we have to show for it? Nothing. So why does this guy disagree? I don't know how he laid that out here, to be honest with you, but I'm going to continue on with this. This is quite honestly the worst sentiment I've ever experienced in the crypto space. A lot of people are saying this right now. I disagree. This is just classic crypto. Total psychological capitulation across every class of person, investor, traders, users, developers, retail. This is absolute rock bottom sentiment so far. I like that he said so far, because I think it's going to get worse. Worse than the Luna blow up, FTX blow up, 2018 bear market, pandemic, and only time it may have felt worse was Mt. Gox. This is the conversation that's going on right now. What I'm a little confused about why is seeing a lot of people say FTX was worse than this. I disagree. So, okay. So he's saying this is worse than ever before. And he thinks that FTX wasn't worse than this. I think that I don't know why people are trying to frame this so much. It's a classic bear market. It's brutal. It's painful. FTX was bad. That was a narrative going on, but the price action was terrible. FTX fell under. That was bad. Who knows? Maybe Michael Saylor is going to get margin call. Maybe Michael Saylor is going to fall under. I doubt it. I feel like, if he didn't go under last time, he's probably not going to go under this time. He's probably just going to keep buying the dip, and everybody's going to just start trash talking Michael Saylor relentlessly. It is crazy how he is not in the profit right now. His average buys are shocking. He's, underwater right now, but he continues to buy. So here you go. This guy is agreeing with this other individual. This is far worse than FTX. When FTX happened, people lost their money, but not their faith in the industry. What's happening right now feels like total capitulation in all aspects of the industry. I will tell you from personal experience, I've lost faith in the industry in previous bear markets as well, and learned my lesson on that the hard way. Now, I say 99% will make this mistake. What mistake am I talking about? Losing faith in the industry. And it happens every bear market. And sitting here pretending like it doesn't happen in every bear market, it's just a great example of why it's so hard to watch X right now. Everybody's coming up with these theories, these hypotheses, when if you just focused in on the 4-year cycle and you realize that, there could be some other FTXs that happen, and, Michael Saylor could, get this is going to happen in this pioneer-like industry, okay? A lot of people say they're shocked that because the president embraced crypto that we didn't go further in this bull market. I actually, hindsight 2020, am not surprised to see that it played out this way. Why? Because clearly the president of the United States is pro-crypto, but clearly majority of the country, maybe not a majority, but at least 50% of the country is very anti the president. So if the president is interested in something, immediately you're going to see opponents of that opinion. So if the president is pro-crypto, inevitably people will be what? Anti-crypto. And so while people have been calling for a super cycle because the industry's come so far and fundamentally, and Tom Lee is going to lay this out, all the pieces are in place right now for crypto to be bottoming right now. But are we ignoring a main thing here? A very main thing? The main thing right now that I'm really thinking about with crypto is the top was in when the president launched a meme coin. When the president went all in on crypto, that was the top. It had to be the top. It's the most logical top because people are going to oppose that president. People support him. People oppose him. And for legislation to occur, look at how long it's taken for this Crypto Clarity Act to get put through. We still don't have clarity on this. It's going to take a long time because there's these political games. Crypto's now political. That's extremely complicated. We have progress. We're headed in the right direction, but we keep finding more stumbling blocks. And a stumbling block we're going through right now, I think, for this bear market is that the president embraced crypto, so altcoins didn't get the highs that, arguably they should have gotten, because we had a meme coin mania that really put a bad brand on crypto this time around, in addition to the politicization of crypto. I don't think that crypto could or should be bottoming right now, frankly. I'd like it to bottom. I'd like it to go up. If the crypto went up, my bags would go up. My channel would perform better. You guys would be happier. We'd all be a lot happier. But that would be just denying crypto of its classic 4-year cycle bear market and just ignoring how complicated this situation really is right now. Let's listen into this clip of Tom Lee. Let me know if you guys can hear this okay. I really hope you can. How's it going, Craig? Craig, let me know if you can hear this okay. I'm going to go ahead and press play, and let me know if this is audible for you guys. Can't hear anything. Okay, well, he's basically giving his kudos to Tom for calling it right, which is crazy to me because, like, Tom Lee did say that the first half of 2026 could be a little bit turbulent, but only after being, like, insanely bullish, talking about $20,000 Ethereum and everything, which Ethereum was arguably one of the worst investments in crypto in this last bull market. It was brutal. Anybody holding Ethereum is just, rightfully crying a river right now because it's upsetting how poorly Ethereum did. Well, Well, I'm not going to play this clip then. And I didn't get a chance to listen to this clip. I'll have to listen to it back another time and maybe do a video on it another time. But I understand what he's going to go out and, say here, ETFs are here. We've got the Clarity Act that's going to come. You have a huge interest. There was uncertainty around the Fed, and we're going to get a new Fed, and we're going to get interest rate cuts. And I already know where he's going to go with this. People are fleeing to gold. Gold is now collapsing. Eventually, Bitcoin will be a catch-up trade. I'm sure that's where he's going to go with this. Let's look at gold real quick, actually. I'm going to come to the Bitcoin chart here in a second. And yeah, I've got this weird-looking chart. We're going to explain this chart here in a minute for you guys. But let's go ahead and do this. Here's gold. Here's gold right here. What happened to all the people saying that when gold collapsed, it's going to rotate into crypto? Gold's down 16%. Bitcoin just took another leg down and found a bounce off 74, 75K. Exactly as I predicted, by the way. We were talking about how easily Bitcoin could come down to 75K. This is all very logical. This is exactly as I felt it would happen. People said gold would collapse and then Bitcoin would pump. Eventually, gold is going to get caught up. I think Bitcoin is going to catch up to gold over the next multi-year stretch of time. Once gold falls lower and simmers down and settles, I think that inevitably when Bitcoin bottoms, which I believe, we'll talk about when I think Bitcoin's going to bottom, you're going to have Bitcoin start to rally and start to outperform gold tremendously again. Okay. In the meantime, I think gold can fall lower without Bitcoin going up. Here's silver as well, which is even down further. I believe, what is it, over 30%? There you go. Silver has crashed 33% from its highs. The lesson that you need to learn here, guys, is nothing goes straight up. And the people that are going crazy about silver and gold right now, anybody buying gold and silver right now is, relatively speaking, probably buying the top. Now, there's a chance that gold and silver come rallying back up, but this is what happens. Markets get a little bit crazy. After you get a rally, then the bulls start going. And what you're probably going to have for silver and gold is bulls riding this wave of excitement around silver and gold for months and months to come. And I think that's exactly what happened to crypto. Bitcoin took a high at $126,000. And then you have the bulls coming out and saying up, 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 super cycle, super cycle, super cycle, when, there's no reason to actually think that should happen yet, because, that's the this time it's different thing, which is, frankly, it's never been different. Okay. Now, what has been consistent about crypto? Well, actually quite a lot. And this is what we need to discuss. Okay. Bitcoin death spiral. You might be like, why would this guy have that title? How dare he be so bearish? And I'm so sorry if you feel that way, but listen to me, guys. Listen to me. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give financial advice. You guys know that by now. I want you to look at this chart. This is Bitcoin's chart. These are the weekly candles. And this colorful line is the 200-week moving average. I'm sure you've seen some people talking about it, but I want to really dive into the 200-week moving average for you, because not only do I think that Bitcoin could easily hit the 200-week moving average, but I believe at some point that we're going to see Bitcoin even fall maybe 30% below that moving average. And we need to be aware of that being a possibility. There's no guarantees. This is something we've seen over and over and over again. First of all, every time this market tops out about after a 1,075-day rally for Bitcoin, in Q4, we see crypto collapse. That happened in December of 2017. It happened in November of 2021. And this time it happened in October of 2025. Bitcoin came down from its high to its low 85% back in 2021. That was back in 2017. Back in 2021, Bitcoin came down a whopping 77%, 78%. And this time, I assume it's probably going to come down somewhere around those levels, maybe a little bit less. Bitcoin goes a little higher. It goes less low. It goes less high. It goes less low every single cycle, pretty much. Percentage gain wise and percentage loss wise so far. That could easily change. That's not the fulcrum to the point here. The fulcrum to the point is Bitcoin's coming back down to the 200-day moving average most likely. Why? Because it always has. And you really don't have to look much further than that, guys. And if you think that it can't get more painful from here, then maybe you haven't been in the crypto rodeo as long as me and Blacksea have. There are shockingly low prices that can occur for crypto. Who would have thought that Bitcoin would have gone up to $68,000 and wicked all the way down to 14K? And then who would have thought that you could have rocked 14K all the way up to $126,000 and gotten over an 8x on Bitcoin in the last bull market? Well, people that paid attention to the cycles could have understood that. And so what comes next for Bitcoin? I think it's very obvious. First of all, let's come down and revisit the 200-week moving average. That's somewhere around 58K. That's first. Secondly, we have to look at how far Bitcoin likes to go after it breaks below the 200-week moving average, which it may or may not do. Here's the thing I would look at, though. It has always had a wick in the last two prior cycles below the 200-week moving average. How low has that wick been? 34%. Here's one below the week moving average. There's another 31%. Okay, so if that's our week moving average, okay, let's just say we have a classic bear market. Moving average is going to be right around here. Let's just say we come down 32% to a trend line that I've had drawn out, 39K. It's a very possible level. And look, guys, if Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy goes under, there's a world where we come lower. It's possible. It's possible. Logically, I can't really sit here and think we are coming to 31K because that would be a bigger crash than we've ever seen before. And I don't really think that we're set up for that. Tom Lee does have a point. There's a lot of bullish things for crypto, but what he's just choosing to ignore is the 4-year cycle, which has been perfect up to this point in time. Now, in the chat, here we go. So, adoption is here, brother. As soon as the Clarity Act gets passed, it's game on. Floodgates opening and the banks missed out, and now they're trying to tank the blockchain they lost. They know it 4-year cycle is dead. You have no proof that the 4-year cycle is dead. And if somebody wants to come out here and give me proof, and proof, by the way, for me is, well, we didn't get an altcoin season. That's the first thing that people go to. And I respect your opinion, by the way, Crypto Chevy. Really appreciate that comment. That's a good comment for us to talk about. You know, oh, well, 4-year cycle is broken. Why? Altcoin season didn't happen. That is not what the 4-year cycle is. That's one of the things that we've typically seen within the 4-year cycle, but that's not the 4-year cycle. The 4-year cycle is Bitcoin. Bitcoin. It's all about Bitcoin. XRP, it's all about Bitcoin. Dogecoin, all about Bitcoin. I don't care what argument anybody has to say about any other coin. Every single crypto asset revolves around Bitcoin. And there are outliers, but those outliers don't outlie forever. Everything comes back to meet Bitcoin where it's at, time and time again. Time and time again. Proof is time, man. No one can prove it. Exactly. So nobody knows what's going to happen next. But history shows us what might happen next. And the history says that Bitcoin could easily come down to the 200-week moving average. And history shows us that Bitcoin could even wick 30% below that moving average. How long does it stay at those levels? Who knows? Look at this one. Bitcoin stayed below the 200-week moving average for basically 500 days there. And it only went below the 200-week moving average for 70 days here and then came back down after a pandemic crash for just a couple quick moments. Who knows how this is really all going to play out to perfection? We can't do that. But generally, we can assume, based on the history of crypto, that Bitcoin is going to come down to the 200-week moving average. In knowing that, looking at the altcoins like an XRP could easily revisit some lower prices as well. Let's actually do this. Let's actually pull up the 200-week moving average for XRP. Let's look at this. What do we got for XRP? The 200-week moving average for XRP. It's interesting how it doesn't really go back further there. Brings us down to $1.11. We have seen many times where XRP has been below this 200. I don't actually like this chart. Let's find a different XRP chart. Now, I don't like that chart. We're going to find a different XRP chart. Let's do. Yeah. See, this is a problem with XRP. It's actually hard to find a chart that goes way back in time. Here we go. Let's do this one. Okay, you know what? That corrected itself. Okay, good. We have many times where XRP wants to come back down below the 200-week moving average. This is what happens. Are we going to come back down below it again? Probably. Where's that right now? $1.09. We could easily come and fill this wick. I think we're probably going to fill this wick for XRP. It's below $1. People don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. But if Bitcoin's going to collapse, they're all probably going to have some pain. There's even a chance that Dogecoin falls out of this range that I've been drawing, which is a huge time frame. Guys, I'm a bull for crypto, but I'm quite bearish on the bear market, let me tell you. Okay? I'm in wealth preservation mode in a bear market, really. And I'm also trying to make money. How am I trying to make money? I'm trying to trade this stuff. There's shorts, and you can make a lot of money shorting the stuff. Nobody likes to short the market. I get that, but there's crazy money to be made for that. Daryl, you hear what I'm saying. Four-year cycle is only because of happening. What is crypto shows? Stop looking in the past when adoption happens. Adoption doesn't mean anything. What does adoption even mean? BlackRock just sold over, they sold billions of dollars recently worth of Bitcoin. I mean, like, you know, it's, what if Michael Saylor goes under? Adoption failed, right? So this adoption narrative it's weak. It's weak. Adoption's happening. Yeah. But that doesn't mean everything goes straight up. And, you know, you said yourself, the banks oppose crypto. I mean, we just saw the email from these Epstein emails. They oppose Ripple and XL. They want to fight crypto industry. They're still trying to fight it. We're lucky, guys, to have a 4-year cycle. If you embrace the 4-year cycle instead of resisting it, then you're somebody that can sell a top and buy a bottom. And that's the person that you want to be. You want to be the person to buy low and sell high. You don't want to be the person that's buying as something's crashing and then capitulating and panic selling because it didn't go your way, and then you think it's over. And right when you think it's over, the bottom hits, and then we catapult up into a classic, another leg up for crypto. That's the way that I feel like this is going to go. But I challenge you, Crypto Chevy. So you're asking, you know, I didn't say it's going to go straight up. Nah, you're missing the big pic. I'll ask you, what's the big picture that you're painting? Because here's the big picture that I'm painting. Bitcoin is going to hit the 200-week moving average. It's going to bottom out at some point in 2026, likely. And we're going to rally back up, and we're going to see higher prices for Bitcoin. We will probably get some semblance of some kind of altcoin season, even though we didn't have an altcoin season in the last bull market. We did have a moment that was pretty glorious for altcoins back in December and November of 2024. That might not have been the thing that everybody wanted. It didn't play out like people wanted, but we had something. But here's, you know, my big picture is crypto adoption is going to continue. It has been happening. We've had a lot of progress. Eventually, the Crypto Clarity Act will be put through. When is that? Probably going to take a lot longer for that to go through than you or I would like it to, because government moves really slow. And clearly there's some opposition to the president. You know, the president's making money off crypto. This is, you know, and so then people oppose the industry because the controversy of the president. And I just think it's going to take a lot longer for this adoption that we all want to like become the thing that brings Bitcoin to $1 million and XRP to replace Swift and all these things that people are excited for and optimistic for, right? But no, I mean, what are you saying, Crypto Chevy? Because I actually genuinely want to hear, like, what are you? So that's my opinion. What's yours? I want to hear. Craig in the chat says, question for you, Kip. If we keep going down, is there a chance that some of the coins get delisted, or can I just hold them and wait for the next bull run? Well, there will be coins that get delisted. Probably not a lot of the major ones. Probably almost none of the major ones, you know, in the top 100. There will be some, maybe. Impossible to predict that at this point. But there will inevitably be some coins that probably get delisted. If they don't get listed, you know, fizzle out and die forever. There are going to be some coins that die forever. But those coins are more like, you know, I don't know, the random meme coin that you cared about for a week and then you forgot about already. And think back to that. That one's like already dead. Those things will continue to happen, I believe. A lot of people are giving up on altcoins. Imagine if you gave up on Solana when it was at $8 and then it rallied to $350. missed an epic trade, right? I think there's going to be some great opportunities in the future. Craig says, so you haven't actually lost money in CSL. Technically, you could say that. Here's the thing. If you're going to hold altcoins from here out, you better be prepared for those altcoins to crumble. Maybe another, let's just use Crowcoin as an example. Okay. Let's just use CRO as an example since we talk about it. Here's an altcoin. It's a pretty big altcoin. Let me get a better chart. It's a pretty big altcoin, obviously. There is still a chance that Crowcoin comes down to revisit, maybe even some of these lows that it had back. Yeah, this is crazy and scary. I'm saying it, right? But in 2020, right? So from here, there's a chance that you even see Crowcoin come down another 68%. The question you got to ask yourself, are you okay with the coin coming down another 68, 70%? If you are, then you have invested more than you're willing to lose. And I'm not a financial advisor, by the way, guys. You got to keep, doing your own research and pick your own plays. But if you're prepared for that volatility and you're like, that's fine if my holdings come down that way because I'll keep buying the dip on the way down, or I'll buy huge on the low, then you've got a strategy that might work for you. But I know that some people out there aren't prepared for a 70% crash. And unfortunately, there's going to be some people that go through that 70% crash for whatever coin it might be. If you get a 70% crash, no guarantees. I'm not saying it will happen. Who knows? I'm a ball guy on the internet. I'm speculating based on what I see coming for Bitcoin and then this kind of cascading effect through the rest of the crypto market. If you're not prepared for that and then your thing crashes 70% and you panic sell the bottom because you're fed up and you lost too much and you're like, I just can't do this anymore, that's the 99% that lose. So just don't put yourself into the position where you rage quit after buying high and then selling low, and then you literally do the opposite of what you should do to be successful in crypto. And unfortunately, that's what most of the masses do. It's hard to be disciplined. It's hard to be disciplined. But so far, the people that have just followed the 4-year cycle have made the most money in crypto. Crypto Chevy says, how do you stop fraud? How do you launder money? Can't do that on the blockchain. It's why government want blockchain and most power don't want blockchain because they can't steal cash. Well, yeah, I mean, the blockchain's a threat to traditional systems. Blockchain's a threat to this, but how does that lay out into a bullish thing? Without Clarity Act, big money can't allocate their money to the blockchain. Yeah, fine. But we don't have the Clarity Act. So you're saying after the Clarity Act comes, it's going to explode. Not necessarily, because what happens with the Clarity Act has a bunch of things that are really bad for DeFi. What's going to be the cascading effect on those altcoins that are focused on DeFi? We do have to be a little bit worried about over-regulation. We need regulation. It's coming. It's if you want crypto adoption, to your point, that's going to be a big catalyst for institutional money to come in. But what is the cascading effect for the crypto? And we still have a lot of unknowns with this that I think people need to kind of buckle up and get ready for. Craig says he's in it for the long haul. Me too, brother. Me too. Especially with Bitcoin, my friends. Especially with Bitcoin. Altcoins are a game that you play around Bitcoin. Okay. Now, I do believe that some of these altcoins are going to be tremendously huge one day. There's a big case for XRP. There's a big case for Solana. There's the big case for Crowcoin. There's a lot of coins that you could be like, well, here's the reason this is, and I get that. But if Bitcoin's collapsing to 40 or 30K, what do you think is going to happen to those altcoins that we know and love? They're probably going to go a lot lower before they go a lot higher. Okay. This kind of talk doesn't really get me a lot of new subscribers or anything like that. My goal through this bear market is to just tell it how it is. I could put out these super bullish, and tomorrow is a huge day and everybody's going to make money. I'm not going to put out that kind of content because it's not how I feel. If there's an event that I'm bullish on, well, I'll talk about that. But if there's a bear market and I think we got more bear market ahead, I have to talk about that. Yeah. The rules are get set now as we speak. Actually, I don't know what you mean, brother. The reason why this channel rocks is because you keep it real. I'm trying to do that. I know it's demotivating for some people. Some people are upset. So here's what I think for Bitcoin from here. I was talking about how there's a real opportunity to catch a long off 75K. If you caught that, well, kudos to you. Slap yourself on the back. You did it. if you shorted as we broke through this range, there's two trades that I talked about recently. My two obvious trades that I've played on, made some great money on, and told you guys about was one, when Bitcoin breaks through this level, it's going to probably come down to 75K. And when it hits down to 75K, I'll be looking for a bounce and a long opportunity there. Caught both those trades. Had to make a couple plays on it. Had some stops that got stopped, but caught some moves on these trades. I'd be getting really tentative, though, for any kind of more continuation to the upside here. There's a chance that we rally back above 100 again and do something silly and give people some hope. But I do think that the rug will be pulled out from under all of us in this Bitcoin market, in the altcoin market, because I think that Bitcoin's going to revisit the 200-week moving average. I think Bitcoin's coming down to under 60K. I don't think there's much we can do. There's nothing we can do to stop it. We can just hope that it doesn't happen. But you can also hope that if it does, you have some cash on the sidelines to buy that dip. That's exactly why we've been trading this market, because we understand that if it's a bear market, you can't buy something and expect to make money on it if it goes down in value. Instead, you can trade the market you have, not the market you wish you had, and short the stuff. Maybe find a long off 75K. Maybe you found that. Maybe you didn't. That's okay. There's a lot of trades to be had through this volatility. My next level is going to be basically a dump straight down. First of all, we might come down to 65K. We might retest, revisit 68, 65. That is our 2021 high. So let's just get a little trend line in there, because that's very possible. That's very possible. But I do think that probably the next level I'm looking at is really that 200-week moving average. There's a chance we just absolutely dump right down to that. Crypto Chevy says there's a meeting in the White House going on right now. And you're absolutely right. There's meetings that happen every day, but nothing is getting done. How long has the president been in power? And he was supposed to do a Bitcoin strategic reserve. How's that going? Are they buying Bitcoin? No, we haven't gotten anything done. We have one bill that was put through, right? I know. We had an executive order for the strategic reserve. I know. These are bullish things. I know. What happened to the price action? Nada. Nothing. Nothing happened. What's going to happen from this White House meeting today? Nada. Nothing. Nothing burgers. Left and right. Hopium on the X timeline over and over and over again, causing people to buy an asset that's falling drastically in price. Panic buy the highs, panic buy on the way down, and then ignore it at the lows, and then it bounces and you go, oh, I sold the bottom. This is the trap that so many people get caught in. I've got a ton of faith. Crypto, Chevy, I got a ton of faith, man. I got a whole crypto channel. This stuff's going to happen. I think crypto adoption it's here, it's happening, but it's not complete. What percentage complete is it? I don't know. 5%? 2%? We got a long way to go. Long way to go. You know, we had the central banks buying gold recently. Why weren't they buying Bitcoin yet? Will they buy Bitcoin in the future? I think so. Maybe they won't, though. Maybe they need to continue to oppose Bitcoin because it is a big risk. And maybe that's exactly what makes Bitcoin so amazing, is that it is literally fight for freedom from this banking system that wants to have a tight grip on us, right? Yeah. Here's the deal. I am not going to waver from this opinion that we're in a bear market. I'm so bullish on crypto and the industry, but a bear market's a bear market. And guess what, guys? I did a video the other day. I was talking about selling a car to buy Bitcoin. I'm not even kidding. If Bitcoin comes down to $30,000, I'll probably just trade my car for Bitcoin because I take another Bitcoin. That's great. That's great. Let's do that. I don't know, but this is how I feel. Crypto Chevy says, I'm not here to get rich overnight. Good. Me neither, brother. Because if you are, that's how you get hurt. That's how a lot of people get hurt. I think you're thinking about it the right way, Crypto Chevy. I think me and you are on the same page. I don't know why it seems like we're not on this chat that's going on. But yeah, I really do believe that we're going to have something pretty amazing. Crypto Chevy also says, though, within the last year, we have traded sideways. The longer sideways, the bigger the pump. That's not necessarily true, right? It's not necessarily true. Case in point, you know, why did we get such a big move here and we traded sideways here for a long time? We got kind of a weak move. I guess you could argue we traded sideways a little bit longer here. So maybe that supports your point. There's no guarantees, though. I thought after this move played out and we got out of this crazy holding pattern, I remember this 245-day stretch. We exploded up for like a minute and then we consolidated right back down. And then we exploded up a little bit and we came back. And then like the bull market was over. Look at all the heat patterns on this, by the way. You could see like hot crypto market and then cooled off. And then it gets like a little bit of red up there, but nothing. And in this bull market, it just stayed cool the entire time. Our explosions are not as explosive anymore. Part of the reason is the institutions. This thing that we want and love, the idea of so much institutional adoption, is the very thing that I think held back Bitcoin from exploding higher, because I think we can all agree that there is an opposition from the powers that be to Bitcoin specifically. Maybe not to Ripple, a more centralized, friendly player, right? That's part of the reason XRP is so bullish. But even though XRP is playing a friendly game with the banks a little bit, and I think they're starting to hop on board maybe, I still think XRP could come down to 50 cents. Why? Because Bitcoin can crumble. Bitcoin can crumble, guys. This is how I feel. What's going on? Well, how's everybody doing in the chat, guys? You hanging in there? You hanging in there right now? Where's your mind at? How's your heart feeling today? I know people got a heavy heart right now. Did you make good money on Sheeb crypto, Chevy? Is that what you're saying? I'm curious. I didn't quite where are you from? Are you from the USA? It seems maybe like some broken English. I was just trying to figure out. Or maybe you're typing quick or something. Wish I had a heart. You got a heart of gold. You got a heart of gold, Daryl. You only own RWA tokens. Well, RWA, I think RWA will do fine in the future. I think at some point. I think it's going to be a pretty bloody bear market, but I think RWA should do fine in the future. Got some memes too. Okay. He's got some memes too. Everybody's got some memes, I think. Everybody's got some memes. I don't have any memes right now, but I'll dabble at some point again in the future. Good. You're up in Sheep. Did you make millions or hundreds in Sheep? Or how'd Sheep go for you? A lot of people lost on Sheep. A lot of people have a story about how they fumbled their $2 billion worth of Shiba Inu that it'd be valued at today. And that's real. I have my fumble story. I could have had $1 billion in Shiba Inu. Craig McMurray says, how's it going? Craig, you're a legend, dude. You're always around, brother. Appreciate you. I got into the crypto market late 2024. Oh, jeez. Wild time to enter. Definitely a learning experience. Fortunately, I haven't made any terrible decisions. Okay, good. Yeah, at this point, you're like, the worst decision I made was to get in. No, I mean, unfortunately, you got in at like the hottest part. And that's 99% make that mistake. You know what? You got to learn from the mistakes. That's the name of the game, folks. That's the name of the game. Learn from the mistakes. Craig, I appreciate you, dude. You got a good sense of humor, man. Not trying to make you feel bad. We all know what the situation is right now. Everybody knows. Just we got to look ourselves in the mirror, be honest with it. It is what it is. This is a bear market, and it's a generational wealth buying opportunity. It's generational wealth opportunity, guys. You could sell your car to become a millionaire if you time the bottom. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? I think Bitcoin's going to $1 million one day. I'm stuck with high conviction on that. I think XRP can go a lot higher. I think Crow can go a lot higher. I think a lot of things can explode. We've got to get through this bear market first. Steve Wonder in the chat says, when's the time to start buying? I believe based on the 4-year cycle, first of all, we need to come down to the 200-week moving average. When are we going to come there? I don't know. Here, let's check this out. From the 2017 high to the first time we got it was 371 days. Okay. From the 2021 high till we got to the moving average, 200 days. So far, it's been, since our high here, 133 days. Might be, I don't know, 200, 250, anywhere from 200 to 360 days could be when we hit the 200-week moving average. But the true bottom, okay, the true bottom, this is what you really need to be aware of. When's the bottom? That's the low price, right? The 2017, here's the lowest price we got to, 364 days. From the high in 2021 to the lowest price we got, 364 days. I wonder what it's going to be this time from the high to the low, 364 days, October 12th. I'm not telling you guys that the bottom is going to be October 12th, okay? All right. I'm not telling you it's going to be October 12th. I'm telling you sometime in the fall of 2026 is a logical time, a logical area for the lowest price for Bitcoin to be put in. Vision Pulse Fat Boy in the chat. Probably one of my most vocal haters in the comment section. I see all your comments, Vision, and I appreciate you, brother. Even though I don't think you like me, I like you. But yes, I'm exactly right. It is a bear market. It has been a bear market. And if you're in denial that it's a bear market, I wonder if when Bitcoin bottoms in October 2026, you're still going to be laughing about me calling it a bear market. At what point will you admit that I'm right? I want to know that. I love you too. I do. But actually, at what point will you stop hating on me and admit that I'm right? I want to know. You commit to something. I'll admit when I'm wrong too. If Bitcoin takes a new all-time high before, I don't know, the summer, I'll admit I'm wrong. Okay, when will you admit you're wrong, Vision? If we go below 60K, okay, I'm going to hold you to it. Then you're going to give me nice comments, Vision. All right? Oh, we're having fun. We're having fun. We love when crypto crashes, don't we? No, it sucks, guys. It sucks. But it's an opportunity, and the people that have been around know it. All right? The people that have been around know it. Craig's my witness, Vision. Craig's my witness. In the meantime, keep those fiery comments coming, slugger. Oh, man. Woo, I sluggered him. Oh, man. Slugger. Oh, sorry. That was rude. I'm just having fun. Where's the guy that said XRP to $100? I don't know. Wait, not me. I never said that. We never said that. What are you talking about? What you talking about, Wills? I'm not going to talk about. If I think I know who you are talking about, I'm not going to talk about that guy because that's a story in itself. Not me. You're right. Yeah. By the way, can we talk about those boom? Craig McMurray baby said, "Whoa, where are your voice impressions? I haven't seen them. Been a minute, baby." I know. It's been a while. It's been a real long time. Frankly, I just haven't been in the mood. I haven't been in a very good mood. But that mood's turning around, frankly, because we're right. We've always been right. Oh, yeah, that guy's gone, Vision. Yeah. See, yeah, you and I, we got some common ground. Yeah, I don't know. That guy's gone. He's upset. What was his name? Yeah, but that's what's going to happen. The people that were bullish are going to quit, and then they're going to miss the generational buying opportunity at the bottom, right? The people that thought XRP was going to $100 by the beginning of 2026, those people aren't going to buy XRP at 50 cents, and then it's going to be back up, and then they're going to be buying the highs again. And that's just like 99% make this mistake. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Will crypto ever recover? It always recovers. Not every coin recovers, but Bitcoin always has recovered so far. And the big ones, XRP, Solana, they've recovered. Okay. Ooh, my daughter's screaming downstairs. Charts, not chats. By the way, you guys should all join our private Discord. These people chatting right now, if you're not in our private Discord, get in our private Discord. It's free. Just sign up for Blofin. You don't have to trade. If you don't want to trade, don't trade. Sign up for Blofin. Get access to our private Discord for free. Come join our private Discord and just chat with us. Let's chat. Doesn't have to be in a live stream. Doesn't have to be in the comment section. Let's chat in a Discord. You want to trade? Trade. You don't want to trade? Fine. Don't trade. Got a private Discord. Join it. I don't know what that is, Vision. CTEC? I don't know what that is. You should educate me. What do you got? What is that? My chats show me bottom is close to 70 or coming very soon. I disagree. I mean, we might get a bottom. I think if anything, the bottom, like a bounce would happen at 75. Here's okay to agree with what you're to talk about what you're saying. Sure. Why would that make sense to me? What you're saying, Crypto Chevy, is because the previous high in 2021, basically we wicked up to 60, 69, 69, 69, call it 70. You know what? Let's just, why don't we just bring it up to the wick? How about that? That's possible. Fine. That could be a bottom, not the bottom, not the bottom, not the bottom. And look, if we go to highs and I'm wrong, well, great. Then our bear markets aren't as bad, and that'd be great. Okay, that'd be great. But what's my top holding? Bitcoin. Period. Bitcoin. In a bear market, Bitcoin, always, every time. In my opinion, anything else is a mistake. Top holding in a bear market, Bitcoin always has to be the option, or stable coins in a bear market. It's not a great answer. You probably don't like it, but it's the truth. It's just the truth. I like Pepe. I think that Pepe's got a nice future. In the meantime, I think Pepe is going to crumble, dude. I haven't showed the Pepe chart for a while. Let's look at this. It's holding up for now, but guys, there's a world. Just be ready for it, brother, because I haven't talked about Pepe in a while, but this thing could come down to 85%. You better be prepared for that. That is so possible. This thing has only been around since 2023. It has no established floor. Couple, it could easily come down to the floor. Be ready for it. Be ready for it. It's possible. Okay, just be ready for it. Don't panic. You do your own, you buy, sell, whatever you guys want to do. I'm just giving you you come here hopefully for my opinion. I've had some pretty strong opinions. I've had some pretty accurate opinions. I've also botched some calls too, guys. Not perfect, but generally the 4-year cycle, following that and basing everything we do off the 4-year cycle, that's been pretty great. We didn't have a strong altcoin season we wanted to have. But man. All right, guys. That's it. To Pepe, you were supposed to be the chosen one. My precious. Yes. I like Pepe. I do. I got a soft spot for Pepe, but can't beat the bear market. Well, you can. You just got to short crypto in order to beat the bear market. That's how you beat the bear market. Or you have cash on the sidelines till we have a historic bottom, which is relatively easily predictable based on the 4-year cycle, at least. A lot of people, I saw a comment the other day. Somebody was like, oh, first second you hear 4-year cycle in a video, skip to the next video. What other video are they going to? One that tells you bullish stuff in a bearish time? What is the one you believe will do the best? The one that I have the most confidence in, Crypto Chevy, is Bitcoin. And then you have the top altcoins, XRP and Solana. I think they have a very bright future. I think Crow has a very bright future. Binance is hard to argue with at this point. Cardano should, though, that was a rather big disappointment in this cycle. There's probably going to be some RWA plays. Maybe it's an Ondo. Maybe it's something we don't know about yet. The ISO 2022 compliant coins, HBAR, XLM, those are probably going to do pretty good. But you need to get like an altcoin season, and we didn't have it yet. Didn't get enough rate cuts. Inflation's hurting. People are struggling. Nobody's got money right now. The president was too controversial for crypto. He's too controversial of a figure to have helped crypto here. In fact, I think he net hurt crypto for this last bull market, but net, like for the future, I think we'll come up to bigger, beautiful moments when once he's not the face of it anymore. Whether you love him or hate him, you know that people do either one or the other. You love him, you hate him. Nobody's like, well, I'm not too sure about my opinion on that guy. Nobody's really like that. Nobody's really like that. You either love him or you hate him. I guess I'm kind of in the middle, I guess, but that's rare. That's rare. I truly kind of do ride in the middle of it. I just honestly, politics is so gross. I hate that crypto's political, but it is. It is. It's political now. And that's kind of what you needed for mass adoption. And so congratulations, everybody. We got what we wanted. You know what I haven't looked at in a while? Bitcoin dominance. Coming back up a little bit. Huh? That's the one mystery of this thing is like, well, actually, I guess not really a mystery. It's going to be interesting to see. I think this is why everybody's like harping about altcoin seasons, because like we haven't had that collapse yet. This is the one mystery for me. I like if we go into a bear market, I think that Bitcoin's coming back. I mean, if we're in a bear market. If Bitcoin comes down to low prices that I'm talking about, I think that Bitcoin's coming back to 73% before coming lower. And then when's it going to come lower? Probably like 2027 or something, I guess, would be when we get some kind of altcoin season. Next time Bitcoin bottoms, I think that would be the best time for altcoins. So, yeah, that's where my mind's at. Yeah. He's making all this happen, brother. Well, I can't agree. He's making a lot happen. He made all the price action happen, and that's the bull market we got. You know, that's the bull market we got. I thought it'd be better. I thought that it. I did have. At many points, I think about this a lot. How did I talk about Trump and his effect that he'd have on Bitcoin before he got elected? And I thought it would be more bullish, I think, probably on a whole. But I did definitely lay out the warning that there's a chance that because so many people oppose this president, that it could actually be a bad thing. I didn't put a lot of I didn't put a lot of power behind that thought. And I had the thought. I said it out loud on some streams. I know I did. But I didn't emphasize that enough. That was the right take. And I had it. It wasn't as bearish as I might sound right now, I was perhaps too bullish in the last bull market. That being said, we called for the top when it topped. But I was also shocked like you we didn't get the altcoin season. Liked it closer to a price of ETH at 1,500. Yeah, ETH can go back down to 1,500, brother. No problemo. Let's look up the 200-week moving average for ETH. I didn't do that yet. Well, that's not a good chart. Yeah, I don't know why these aren't really giving me what I want here. I don't think that's the true 200-week moving average. I guess we're below it. That shows you how weak ETH is right now. All right, in the short term, all right, guys, in the short term, let's zoom in on BTC a little bit. Got a little bounce off this level. We could easily come back up to 82, 83, 84, and reject back down. I wouldn't be surprised if we just keep crumbling from here, though, frankly. So, all right, guys. Tom Lee's probably not doing too well, man. He's still coping live on national TV saying we're going to get a bottom soon. I don't know. That guy's predictions have just been wild. I can't believe he still has any credibility. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, join our private Discord if you want to chat with me and Blacksea directly. If you want to do some trading with us, we trade on Blofin. Link to sign up for Blofin down below. Even if you don't want to trade, when you sign up for Blofin, you will get access to our private Discord for free. Check it out. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. DCA, hodl, y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.